Okay, here we go. So Duotone have just brought out a new material that they're going to use on their kites. So they're going to be the same designs as all the standard kites, but the Neo and the Dice and some of the other kites are going to be available in what they call the SLS version. So we just had one delivered a couple of days ago. So SLS, it's a new material, I think, basically on the leading edge and on the struts. First thing to note is we get a much smaller bag with it. Still doing up with the old metal sliders there on the zips. Plastic sliders would be a lot better. Anyway, so there it is. That's the main difference, I think. That's the new material that they're using on the leading edge. It's a sort of slightly shinier, kind of crispier feeling material, and I think that's what should give it the weight saving and make the kite stiffer. What we thought we would do is, before we use it or before we pump it up, we're going to stick it on the scales, and that's the answer. 2577 grams. Seems pretty light. So just to make it a bit more interesting, what we thought we would do is actually weigh some other kites as well, just to see how much lighter it is, what difference that extra material makes in the weight of the kite. So here we have got pretty comparable kites in the same sector of the marketplace, and all really competitive kites with the new Neo. So we've got the 8-meter Neo, 2020 Neo, 2918. Right, here we go. 9-meter Rio. The answer is 2480. Got the 9-meter Bandit S. This is the 2020 edition. 2768, I reckon that says. So we were quite interested by the difference. The Rio really was a little bit lighter than the 9-meter. So we thought we'd just have a quick look, see how they compare in size. So we've just put the 9-meter Rio on top of the 9-meter Neo. They lay on top of each other and they're almost identical. The main difference is really on this is near to the wingtips here, and you can just see that the Neo is definitely a little bit bigger, a little bit longer in the span than the Rio is. Okay, so here we go. We're down at the beach, giving her a pump up. So first impressions on what it looks like. Personally, I think it looks really smart. Really nice colours. All seems to work pretty well together. A lot of the same features really on this as last year's Neo. You've got the little relaunch bungees down here on the inside of the wingtips. The standard large Mega Flow one pump system here. The bridle line is definitely different this year. It's a kind of thinner, different material. I think the actual lines that they're using now on their bars are different as well. The dump valve as normal on the Duotone kite down near one of the wingtips, that's pretty standard. Obviously you've got the new material for the leading edge, goes all the way through with some slightly different material near the wingtip here. The standard Duotone inflate valve, which works pretty well these days. So the main canopy material is this Trinity TX. So it's got, you can probably see it's got 3 stripes going one way and 2 stripes going the other way. We've been using this in a kite school for a couple of years now, and we've never had a kite rip, so it's very, very, very strong. Here we go. We've got, I don't know, not enough wind to go kite surfing anyway. I would say it's about 7 or 8 knots, maybe 10 knots. The kite, as you can see, let's stick it up at the top of the window. Very, very stable in this really light wind. Loops pretty sweetly, no flapping. Feels nice and light on the bar. In general, it feels pretty much like a Neo feels. So I think the real benefit that you're going to get with this kite being so light and flying so easily when there's very little line tension is going to be when you're wave riding, dropping down waves and your lines go slack. This thing's going to hang around for you, I suspect. It's really nice actually for kids and for women who are going to use this kite in light wind conditions, because it's going to be very, very stable in the sky. The material looks super strong, so I'm sure it's going to withstand an impact in a wave. It works brilliantly when it's light. I'm sure when it's windy it's going to be a great kite. It's going to be my choice for the winter. If you wanted a kite that was just going to be really good at foiling in light winds, like a one-stroke kite would be, and yet strong enough and powerful enough to use powered up wave riding, that Duotone SLS has got to be right up there on the top of your list, because I think it would do both of those jobs brilliantly. So just as a little afterthought, because we obviously reckon it's super good in light winds, we thought we'd just weigh it against the mono 9 meter, which we've got here. 9 meter mono on the scales. Yeah, 2325. So that's the lightest one, but you'd probably expect that, seeing it's just got one strut. But this is great in light winds, but nowhere near the performance you're going to get from the Neo when it's windy. So there we are.